Hey guys, so in this video I'm gonna talk about Saqawal armor set, what it does, and let me just show you. I'm gonna activate it and watch this. Ta-da! So let me go through all the other stuff while you watch these tornadoes. So the boots grant the aspect of the Avian skill, which is this. It reserves your mana as like heralds do. Now the helmet is that provides these tornadoes. You have 25% chance to trigger level 20 tornado when you gain Avian Smite or Avian's Flight. So when you activate this, it alternates between Avian's Flight and Avian Smite, and by default we have 4 seconds duration. 4 seconds, then that one ends and the other one starts. So but you can reduce the duration on each of them by using gloves that have up to -2 seconds on might duration, and on boots you also can get -2 seconds on flight duration. So you can make those buffs last only 2 seconds, but you can also use less duration in the boots, because anything in the boots will affect the aspect buff. So you use less duration with quality. You can also use timepiece amulet, but it's not really needed. And you basically reduce the duration of each buff to like 1 second. You can lower it to, I believe, up to 0.78 seconds. So each time, every seconds, you get 25% chance to trigger the tornadoes. So while it looks really cool, and I was trying to play with it a bit, but it's really very unreliable. I mean, the damage I think could be scaled, because a tornado is a physical spell. It is a projectile that pierces, and it has 25% chance to blind. And I think it hits multiple times. So this is obviously with extra projectiles and increased duration. So it just like one tornado goes off. But if you link with GMP, it almost shoots like in a nova around you. Come on, shoot. Here we go. So it does those tornadoes I was also using. You can also like use volley. Let's see how it goes. Now it just spreads out, kind of, I don't know, kind of strange. I did not like using that. Like, you can use projectile gems, faster projectiles. I mean, for clear speed, I mean, it could work. Duration is also kind of needed. At least it looks cooler, because we can travel further away and probably damage more. Maybe you would have to use like slower projectiles with increased duration and like control destruction. So you would want a build that scales spell damage, and maybe use like stat sticks for your weapons that convert, not convert, but gives extra damage from physical, like extra lightning, fire, cold, hairs. And then I think you could scale this damage pretty decently, but I mean, it's so unreliable. You can run around for 5 seconds and nothing happens, and then it suddenly shoots once, then run around, nothing happens, and then suddenly it starts shooting like mad. So it's kind of cool, but I think it's a bit just for the looks and not actually like a real skill to use. I mean, for clear speed, it's like Light Poacher's little brother. It's not as good, but I mean, you don't need charges, I guess. Anyway, so the other stuff about this armor, Avian Smite buff gives you 10% chance to deal double damage, and Avian's Flight gives you a bit movement speed. So I was thinking of maximizing Avian Smite duration, so you basically get longer buff duration to deal double damage. And with this armor, it basically doubles the chance to deal double damage. So with this armor you get 20% chance to deal double damage. That's basically as like having 20% more damage multiplier, and it works for any damage. I was also playing with that and it seems pretty decent. Wow, that's a bit windy, a lot windy. So yeah, these tornadoes are very unreliable. You can see many of them, or you can just stand and die before they appear. Also, you may, if you are building some kind of region build, you may want to build around Avian's flight. So you get Avian's flight duration increase and reduce the duration on Avian's might. So you get region while you have Avian's flight, which is when you move faster, and while you have Avian's flight you get life region and mana region. Also, while you have Avian's might, you get pretty decent amount of flat, cold and lightning damage to any hits, not just attacks and not just spells, which means it also affects heralds. Not to confuse, this armor will not improve the damage from these gloves. It will only improve the chance to deal double damage and movement speed from Avian's flight. Oh, one more thing that we tested on stream. So with this armor, aspect of Avian also grants Avian might and Avian flight to nearby allies. So we thought, what would be if one person ran full set to grant these buffs to allies, and the rest would run this helmet to get tornado. So the idea was to use these Avian might and flight rotations and hopefully trigger tornadoes on each party member that is wearing this helmet. However, it is not working, and I'm not sure if it is intended, but the wording says when you gain Avian's might or Avian's flight. However, the armor says that aspect of Avian also grants to nearby allies. So I think the wording implies that it's not the same as you gain. I don't know, it sometimes is confusing. But yeah, it is kind of disappointing that you can't actually do full party with one person running just full set and the rest just the helmet and using tornadoes. Sadly, cannot do that. Anyway, that's probably all about this armor that I wanted to talk. Oh, armor itself is pretty decent. You can get up to 10% reduced mana reservation and up to 75 all attributes. Sadly, it does not give any life, but you do get some life from those attributes because of strength. So yeah, this armor is not that bad, especially for heralds, which I was running. I'm not gonna do like a auto heralds build guide video because I just end up doing most damage with this setup than with heralds. But yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna be making a new build which is gonna be to farm rings. If you haven't heard, there is a new armor that has been discovered yesterday. You vendor 60 any unique rings and you get a new unique armor, which always has 4 sockets, some attributes, life, mana, flat physical damage, up to 50% elemental damage, and it raises your resistance cap up to 80%. So yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, normally you have only 75 cap, but you can get up to level up to 80%. But it's kind of a gamble with that armor. It may need to be divined a lot if you cannot get lucky. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you soon.